Hi, this is Sanjay. Welcome to part 3 of accountability. In part 1, I had talked about what is accountability and how can you define accountability. In part 2, I had talked about individual accountability and how you can get accountable individually. Today, in the final part, I shall talk about creating an accountability culture in your team. Lots of times people come and ask me, fine, I am accountable, but how do I get everyone to be accountable? How is it that companies have been able to create teams where everyone is accountable? So let's look at some of the basics that you have to do to ensure that everyone is accountable. The first thing is that people need to know what is the final purpose of the project or what is the main purpose of the department they're working in. Managers don't spend time explaining what the department does and how it helps the organization meet its goals. So the first thing is to clearly explain and communicate to your team what is the role of either the project or the department and how it would help the organization meet their goals. Then sit with each member of your team to explain how their small part adds up to achieving a big objective as far as the company is concerned and how critical and important their role is. Accountability studies have shown that more the criticality of a function, the more accountable that people feel. Also, please publish a list of who is accountable for what so that the entire team is sure as to what role each one of them does. This is true of any sports team. Every sports team member knows what is expected of him or her. The same should be true of your team. So explain clearly what is the role that each person will take to ensure that the team's objectives are being met. Third, when you are talking about accountability and you want to build a culture of accountability, you must positively reinforce accountability. Whenever a team member shows accountability, please broadcast this to the entire organization. If you don't want to do it for the entire organization, at least talk about that in your team meeting. Have a small celebration. The celebration should be nothing more than a round of applause. But at least you are sending a message that you are noticing and expecting people to be accountable. And when somebody is accountable, you are going to positively reinforce it. There's nothing better than to get a round of applause that you are not expecting early in the morning. This would not only help motivation but also keep your team accountable. So I do hope now that you have a clear idea about what accountability is, how to get people accountable, and what are the 3 things that you need to do to repeat, explain to them the larger purpose of either your project or the department. Publish a list of who is accountable for what. And lastly, whenever somebody shows accountability, celebrate. Hoping to have accountable teams that would make your job a lot easier and ensuring that motivation levels are high. All the best.